Welcome to Movies in the Making. In today's episode, we are going to be looking at the celebrated 2000s historical epic drama film Gladiator, originally released by DreamWorks Pictures and directed by Ridley Scott. Here, we will dive deep into the story of the production of this film, ranging from how it took some inspiration from a non-fiction book to the death of one of the actors cast in the film. The crew gave fierce commitment when it came to this film being made. That alone already adds to how epic Gladiator truly is. So, sit back and enjoy the show. You are all in for a legendary ride. The idea of Gladiator was first conceived by David Franzoni in 1972. He found inspiration after reading Those About to Die, a 1958 nonfiction book by Daniel P. Mannix that details the brutal world of ancient Roman gladiator games. In 1997, Franzoni wrote the screenplay for Amistad, the second feature film to come out of DreamWorks Pictures, which was directed by the iconic director Steven Spielberg. While Amistad was shot in Rome, Franzoni delved deeper into the history of Rome, prompting him to pitch the idea about a film about ancient Rome to Spielberg. Spielberg then willingly asks him to start writing a script. Gladiator was directed by Ridley Scott, who, before directing this film, was famous for critically acclaimed films such as Alien, 20th Century Studios, 1979, Blade Runner, Warner Brothers, 1982, Someone to Watch Over Me, Columbia Pictures, 1987, and Thelma and Louise, Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer, 1991. Since the release of Gladiator, Scott has also directed American Gangster, Universal Pictures, 2007, and The Martian, 20th Century Studios, 2015. Two examples that particularly were nominated by the Academy for Best Picture. Scott's portfolio consists of many films with a high critical reception, with Gladiator being one of them. Ridley Scott became attached to directing Gladiator after seeing a copy of the painting Police Verso, originally made in 1872 by French artist Jean-Léon Gérôme. The painting itself depicts a gladiator awaiting the crowd's judgment. The people who presented the image to Scott were Walter Parkes and Douglas Wick, producers for DreamWorks Pictures. The latter would later serve as a producer for the film. With Scott on board as director, the production of Gladiator began to take shape. After Scott read Franzoni's script, John Logan and William Nicholson were hired for writing another possible draft where they would refine and expand the story. Each writer had a different perspective on what the film should convey. Franzoni wrote for the Emperor to die so that protagonist Maximus would then give power to the Senate that it needed for establishing a new government before he would then leave to his native Spain. However, Scott entrusted Nicholson to developing Maximus's character than what Franzoni proposed. For example, Maximus would now have the desire to reunite with his family in the afterlife, adding a poignant layer to his quest for revenge and justice. Russell Crowe was cast in the film as a result of his acclaimed role in the 1997 Warner Brothers film L.A. Confidential. He portrayed the protagonist Maximus Decimus Meridius, who required a blend of raw strength, emotional depth, and a commanding screen presence. After the crew offered him the role and Crowe accepted, he threatened to leave after expressing disappointment with the script, expressing concerns about some historically inaccurate elements. For example, according to Crowe himself, the script included chariot racers promoting olive oil, something he deemed would not please the potential audience or keep the film's purposefully dramatic tone cohesive. Only after speaking with Scott did Crowe decide to stay. They both agreed on 21 pages as the foundation, complete with the development of Maximus's internal motivations. Joaquin Phoenix was cast in the film after the producers witnessed his audition tape. Franzoni said that he and his wife will always remember the day they received the tape. He called it a knockout that was mind-boggling. Phoenix himself poured his heart out to his given role as antagonist Emperor Commodus. His line, "Am I not merciful?" was not present in the script but was improvised. thereby adding both towards his commitment to the role and the film's dramatic weight. Connie Nielsen's reaction to Phoenix's spoken line that was captured on film was her actual reaction in real life, so, because of Phoenix, she also improvised there. Ridley Scott later said that Phoenix considered dropping out of the role, a decision Russell Crowe deemed terribly unprofessional, and that Scott acted like a relative to convince Phoenix to stay on set. Olive Reed also had been cast in the film portraying the character Antonio Proximo, whom Maximus is sold to in the film. However, halfway through making the film, Reed tragically died from over-drinking that led to a heart attack, despite his promise to Ridley Scott not to drink so much. Reed had not even finished with all the scenes that he had to. Consequently, Scott used online images of Reed's face to connect them with the right body so that the remainder of Proximo's screen time would be fulfilled with CGI and the character would have all the relevance to the plot needed. Gladiator was filmed between January and May 1999, with the crew's workforce being so arduous for 20 weeks in Malta. The script was merely 21 pages at the start of filming, requiring daily adjustments as new scenes were written. It had undergone many rewrites as the production progressed. Scott, Crowe, and the writers often collaborated on set to refine the dialogue, with some of the film's most memorable lines and scenes emerging from these improvised discussions. For example, the line, "Am I not merciful?" delivered by Joaquin Phoenix, and, unexpectedly, Connie Nielsen's reaction to that line delivery. Gladiator's opening battle scene was filmed in Bourne Wood in Surrey, the UK. To capture the chaotic violence of ancient Roman warfare, Ridley Scott allowed for its scheduled deforestation to happen. To do this, he ordered the production team to set fire to the forest so that he could then give the film the opening battle while the landscape went in flames. The film gave the location popularity and would later influence other films, such as Harry Potter and Deathly Hallows, Parts 1 and 2, and TV series such as HBO's Band of Brothers, to also film their scenes there. The gladiatorial training arena in the film is actually an ancient village named Ait Ben Haddou in Morocco. Another Moroccan setting is the city of Ouarzazate, serving as the backdrop for other scenes and leveraging the authenticity of its desert landscape and ancient architecture. The city of Ouarzazate was previously filmed for Martin Scorsese's The Last Temptation of Christ, Universal Pictures, 1988, and Stephen Sommers' remake of The Mummy, also Universal Pictures, this time 1999. The Colosseum was filmed in the Mediterranean island of Malta. Fort Ricasoli was used as a setting for what would be ancient Rome in the film. A replica of the Colosseum was built at a third of the size of the real-life attraction's actual structure. Visual effects expanded this partial set into a fully realized arena, blending practical and CGI elements seamlessly to create a realistic depiction of the iconic monument. Other significant filming locations include Val d'Orcia in Tuscany, Italy, for Maximus's home, and Alabama Hills in California, USA, the path which Maximus takes to return to his home in the film. There were many difficulties faced when it came to filming Gladiator. For example, in an effort to create a realistic experience, Ridley Scott used an actual tiger for gladiatorial scenes, which mauled Russell Crowe during filming. This was a testament to the lengths the production went to ensure authenticity. Crowe also said that he has a disintegrated hip that happened to him from falling during production. Other injuries Crowe endured include his Achilles tendons breaking, one of his hips being cracked, and one of his feet breaking. Despite these challenges, Crowe's commitment to the role remained unwavering, and his injuries ultimately contributed to the raw, visceral portrayal of Maximus's physical and emotional struggle. The music for Gladiator was made by famous composer Hans Zimmer, who had previously composed two other films directed by Ridley Scott, Black Rain, Paramount Pictures 1989, and Thelma and Louise. Hans Zimmer first tried to work with Ofra Haza so that she could help with the score. However, she died before being able to make any contributions to the film. Hayes' untimely death led Zimmer to approach Lisa Gerard. At first, she rejected Hans Zimmer's offer because she had previously composed for The Insider, Touchstone Pictures' 1999, which also starred Russell Crowe. She did not want to come across as a backdrop to Crowe. However, she did provide some solo features for the film's theme, Now We Are Free, and for that, she gained half of the credits for the film's score while Hans Zimmer had the other half of the credits. Gladiator is owned by Paramount Pictures via DreamWorks Pictures in North America and by Universal Pictures internationally. It was released in the United States on the 5th of May, 2000, and grossed $460 million, just over 4 times its $103 million budget. The film's success was attributed to its unique blend of historical epic visceral action and powerful character drama, which resonated with audiences across the globe. It won 5 Oscars at the 73rd Academy Awards: Best Actor to Russell Crowe, Best Visual Effects, Best Sound, Best Costume Design, and Best Picture. As of recording this video, Gladiator has a 79% critics rating on Rotten Tomatoes, a 67 out of 100 score on Metacritic, an 8.5 rating on IMDb, and a 4.1 rating on Letterboxd. The film's enduring popularity and critical success have cemented it as a modern classic, often referenced as a pinnacle of the historical drama genre. Surprisingly, the week after Gladiator came out, another high-profile film named Battlefield Earth, based on a 1982 novel by Scientology founder L. Ron Hubbard, arrived in American theaters but bombed heavily at the box office and was so critically panned that it received the Golden Raspberry Award for Worst Picture. In essence, the films awarded Best and Worst were just 1 week apart from release dates, with the failure of Battlefield Earth further highlighting Gladiator's achievement as well as a crafted, high-quality production by contrast. Gladiator's influence on cinema has been profound, inspiring a resurgence of historical epics and cementing the genre's viability in the 21st century. The film's success led to a renewed interest in ancient history and the Roman Empire in popular culture, with several subsequent films and series drawing inspiration from its themes, visuals, and storytelling style. Crowe's portrayal of Maximus became iconic, with his line, "Are you not entertained?" entering the lexicon of memorable movie quotes. In the years since its release, Gladiator has continued to inspire filmmakers, fans, and historians alike, sparking discussions around the Roman Empire's cultural legacy and the enduring allure of stories about honor, revenge, and redemption. And that wraps up our deep dive into the making of Gladiator. We've journeyed through the creative decisions, the challenges on set, and the unforgettable performances that brought this epic tale of ancient Rome to life. From Ridley Scott's visionary direction to Russell Crowe's dedication to the role of Maximus, it's clear that Gladiator was more than just a film. It was an intense labor of love that set a new standard for historical epics. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon to stay updated on all things Movies in the Making. Let us know in the comments which movie you want to hear about from this channel, what you think of Gladiator, or if you have any favorite moments from that film not touched upon. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time on Movies in the Making, where we will be discussing The Wizard of Oz, Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer 1939, and more films to follow along the way. Tune in for more Movies in the Making as we uncover the stories behind the cinema's most unforgettable films. This has been Jason Scotchmer, film enthusiast and passionate about the arts.